Yo, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? We're talking Spawn, as you can see in this video. Spawn 301 to really be exact with this video. I'm late, but shout out to Todd McFarlane and the rest of the Image comic universe as Spawn reached 300 issues and counting. So shout out to that. That is not an easy achievement in the slightest. Well, 301. Why I'm talking about 301? Because 301 set up for a lot of stuff to come in the future, as we will see. Well, in this, Al Simmons Spawn set off a necroplasm bomb. Yes, a necroplasm bomb. He just tired of it. Tired of heaven, tired of hell. People was coming in and out on his planet he's protecting. He sets off this bomb. So it locks the gates to heaven and hell. And if you're on Earth trying to get back to those spots, you're out of luck. He does this. It accomplishes exactly what he needed to do. Though he was already in a weakened state, and this weakened him kind of more. But we'll see what the thing is, though. This necroplasm bomb was like a alarm clock that awoken other Hellspawns. Or people got Hellspawn powers. This was like a big ass alarm clock. And we got a multitude of different spawns that are now here on panel. Well, first, She Spawn is not a new. She Spawn is not really a new person. It's Nyx, and if you've been keeping up with the solo arc, she has been there. She actually even went to hell at one point in time. So she isn't too new to the Hellspawn powers, but now she is officially a Spawn or Hellspawn. She is called She Spawn, and she packs plenty of guns because she is former military, and she's so secretive with her life that her mother actually takes care of her daughter, but her daughter doesn't know that she's her mother. She thinks she's her auntie just to keep things safe, and her secretive or so dedicated to her job actually got in the way of her marriage, and she's actually divorced now. So that backstory was crazy. And you can read some of these characters I'm reading. You can read, well, some of them you can read in their backstory in Spawn Universe #1. Then we got a mysterious ninja Spawn. Not much has been shown on him yet or his backstory, but he looks awesome. Cloaked up, we're gonna see his eyes, kunais, and other hidden weapons and other things he could use. Like say, nothing much is on him yet, but I have an eye out for him. We got Medieval Spawn. Now about this Spawn actually appeared in some of the early issues of the Spawn solo arc, the main Spawn solo arc. But a couple of rights and other situation happened with McFarlane. I believe it was the creator of Sandman universe, Neil. It was a situation with them. I guess it took a while until things got straightened out, and they brought Medieval Spawn back on panel. Now, how they did him, he has been locked away under the Vatican. Yes, where the Pope is Vatican, that Vatican. He has been locked away under there all this time. His backstory, a great warrior from his time, but got away from his squadron, his leaders, the ones he was leading. And his mage, actually, him and his mage actually did battle after he found out his people, his brothers in arms, his army was murdered. So they went and battled until he wound up again. He was locked away in the Vatican. One of the more popular, or the most popular new Spawn that showed up is Gunslinger Spawn from the Western times. Real quick with the guns, as the name says it all. Real quick with the guns. what they showed in Spawn Universe #1 that I love about him outside of his whole demeanor, his design. He when he died, he laid there for I believe a year. But okay, so Genesis, what's so interesting about him just laying there dead for like a year? Well, a pack of wolves guarded his body the whole time he was dead. Nobody got near it. Anything gets near it, they was running it off. It's like they knew he was gonna be awakened. He was gonna awaken again, and they want to make sure to watch over his body so that he woke back up with what was actually left of his body. So we got Gunslinger Spawn. We have Skull Splitter Spawn. Briefly showed up. We see one thing, he could phase through Spawn's physical punches, and he said he knew Spawn would show up there, come to him again. So it's from what it showed, I guess all panel they had been involved or met a couple times, but he was just there briefly, and I'm quite sure we'll be seeing him, this Skull Splitter Spawn as he's called, more and more in the future. Then we get this behemoth of a spawn called Monolith Spawn. This Hellspawn is actually working for Omega Spawn, and Omega Spawn is definitely a familiar name. This Monolith Spawn is kind of a mode of Doomsday, Hulk, the big body, brute, muscular type body. That is Monolith Spawn. We will be seeing more of him as well. Then we get another spawn that isn't directly tied into the necroplasm bomb that sponsored the awakening of everybody. If you know Cog, this is the older gentleman, long white beard that's been with Spawn, training him, being there with him throughout his whole journey, who also had his own little hidden agenda. He is there on his island with Spawn on Omega Spawn's island. And Omega Spawn has him locked away in a pit. Some of the symbiote of Hellspawn breaks after the battle with Spawn and Omega Spawn. Some of that goes to this pit where Cog is, and they merge and bond together, and we get what is known as Plague Spawn. Very gruesome, grotesque looking spawn. So, and now this happened later on at 301, like 315, I believe. Issue like 315, I believe, or 314. So, and then the universe is expanded, as McFarlane had been planning to expand the Spawn universe even more. It's always been kind of the solo arc. We saw Spawn in different side arcs as well, but never just truly expanding until now. You have the King Spawn arc, you got Spawn Universe #1, you got future titles, and you still got the solo main Spawn title that's going on right now. McFarlane is not playing with y'all. He is not playing with y'all. Spawn is not only one of the most popular black comic book characters, but one of the more popular comic book characters in general. First name basis. You think, I know there's been other people to be called Spawn, but when you think Spawn, it's gonna be Al Simmons, Image Comics, Todd McFarlane. And he's still also getting everything set for the new Spawn movie that will be coming out sometime from now. This is on my pull list. Another pull list video. Spawn Universe, Solo Spawn arc, King Spawn. If you can, check them all out. I don't think you'll be disappointed reading these issues. Yo, deuces out. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode where I talked about Spawn.